9, we are going in depth with Oklahoma City's Police Chief Wade Gourley.
And with the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon this coming weekend, we wanted to know how his department looks after nearly 18,000 runners and the crowd. Here's Lisa Monahan.
Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gourley back in studio with us this week. It is race week, so we are looking ahead to the weekend's Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. Chief, thanks for being with us. The Run to Remember is a big undertaking for your department. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what roles your officers will be playing to keep everyone safe during the marathon?
So we've always had a role in the marathon in traffic control and security and safety, but it really was kind of taken to another level with that after what happened in Boston several years ago. And I remember after that incident occurred, the Boston Marathon always occurs before the Oklahoma City Marathon. I remember meeting with a group of metro agencies and our department as well, and talking about how we'd be ramping up security. So we have a very heavy security presence at the Memorial Marathon since that time.
Well, we know that, as you can even see here, hundreds of runners and then all of their fans, people out cheering, just a lot of Oklahomans out there to support those runners. We know that there will be a lot of people along the route of the race. What are you guys doing to try to help navigate road closures and traffic problems?
So we start prior to the race. We'll have teams that go out and set up barricades, block off intersections and streets. And it's not just us too, it's our federal partners, it's other metro law enforcement agencies, and we all work to secure that course route ahead of time so that when the runners get out there, they can be safe, the spectators as well. And you know, just making sure that that route is clearly identified for all those runners and those spectators so that they know where to be along the way. And
I know there's something very important we want to talk about, these barricades. They are there for a reason. What do you want people to know if they're going to go out and they're going to support runners when it particularly relates to these barricades?
Absolutely. Those barricades are there for a reason. Do not move them. We see this every year. Our officers will catch people doing it, and I don't think they're trying to necessarily do anything wrong. They're just trying to get access to, you know, their loved one, their friend, or whoever that's running. And so just realize that those barricades are very important, not only as a course identifier, but as a safety item as well. And we really don't want people moving those or adjusting those or anything, because that could, you know, really cause a problem down the road.
I know you probably don't have specific numbers, but just how many officers are going to be out working during the marathon?
It's a lot. It's almost every officer that we have available that's you know, that's not going to be patrolling the streets that day. We have a large contingency there, and again, not just us, but the other metro agencies around that do that. And last year, I actually went out and followed our captain that is over that area, the special events and emergency management. I followed her around as she navigated through and was supervising what was going on, and it's amazing. It's amazing how it all comes together, all that teamwork, all those officers working together as a group. And you know, for most of us, especially those of us that were here when the bombing occurred at the Murrah building, this is a event that we really want to be a part of. It's more than just us being out there and providing a security. It's us being there for support for those family members and friends of those that were lost and those whose lives were changed forever. So it's a big undertaking, but at the same time, I would say we do it out of love. It's a great honor for us to be there doing what we do.
I know it's very near and dear to the department, and probably yourself. You were called to the site when it happened.
Yes, on April 19th, 1995, I was at home and I was returning to work that day. And as I was getting ready to go into work, I was actually supposed to take the sergeant's test that day. I felt my house shake and thought a car had hit my house and ended up responding down there. And actually, right when I arrived was when they had found what they thought were more explosives, and people were running away from the building. And it was, you know, obviously something we'll all never forget. But those of us that responded down there, you had a lot of people that day, not just police officers and firefighters, but just people in the community, you know, citizens, residents of our community that work downtown that just stepped up and did anything they could to help. It was as tragic and as horrible as it was to see. It was also amazing to see that response.
Did it impact your career going forward? With hindsight now looking back, did it change your course at all?
I think it probably did. You know, I've said before, it's kind of strange for me. When I took this job, I was going to do it for 5 years, and then I had plans to go do something else. And you know, I kind of set those things, you know, periodically and said, well, I'm going to go do something else now. After that, I think it was more like, this is where I'm supposed to be. this is my calling, and so in that respect, it probably changed that course in keeping me part of the Oklahoma City Police Department and staying in this community.
Like so many other officers as well. Chief, thank you for being with us and talking about this important, and we will keep all of your safety tips in mind as we support the runners this weekend. If you have a question for the Chief, you can send us an email at chatwiththechief@griffin.news. We'll see you next week.